Everyone seems to be talking about AI app builders like Base44 and Claude Code. But if you're a beginner to all of this, you might be really confused about which one you should try out and what are the similarities and differences. In this video, I'm going to break down Base44 and Claude Code so you understand which one you should use and so you don't make a mistake that costs you a lot of money by using the wrong tool. Let's start with Base44 because it's got an exciting story. 6 months after it was started, it was sold to Wix for $80 million of cash. And they just crossed $100 million of ARR. So it is a popular tool and it's got a really cool story. Now it started with just one app building product. What that means is you could enter in your idea. It had the backend database and user authentication built in. So everything is an all-in-one in Base44. You don't have to worry about connecting to any other tools. Everything is done in the one tool, and you can go from a prompt to an application. I still think it's one of the best tools for beginners who don't want to have to deal with any of the infrastructure of setting up your database, deploying your app on Vercel. Now, there is a place for that, but if you're just getting started or just want to build a simple MVP, I think Base44 is a great place to start. Claude Code is very different, and I'm going to talk more about that later. This video is sponsored by Usercentrics. If your website uses cookies or tracking tools, and let's be honest, almost every website does, you need a way to manage user consent properly. This is especially true if you've vibe coded a website. It's not enough to just ask the AI to add a cookie consent banner. There's a lot more that goes into it, which Cookiebot handles automatically. That's where Usercentrics Cookiebot comes in. Usercentrics Cookiebot is a consent management platform that automatically tracks, classifies, and blocks cookies until visitors give consent. And it updates automatically as regulations change, so you're not stuck manually tracking legal updates. That's one of my favorite parts of Cookiebot because it's almost impossible for the average person to keep up with all of the legal changes associated with cookie consent. It covers major regulations like GDPR, ePrivacy, and CCPA, CPRA, so just about every type of regulation is covered by Cookiebot. The setup is super simple. There's no advanced technical skills required. You literally just copy this script tag. You can ask your AI to implement it on your website. It'll add it to your website, and then your cookie consent banner will be shown automatically. It's also really easy to integrate with tools like WordPress. Cookiebot is completely free for small websites, and paid plans are very affordable to start. They also have a free trial, so you can get started 100% for free by clicking the link in the description, creating your cookie consent banner, and adding it to your site in literally minutes. Again, click the link in the description, and thank you again to Cookiebot for sponsoring this video. Now, over the last few months, Base44 has been releasing some more advanced features and also just different product features. The first one that you should be aware of is super agents. This is like OpenClaw or Manus, if you're familiar with Manus. It's basically an AI agent that can connect to things like Gmail, Slack, and actually complete tasks and work for you. I think of it as like a personal assistant as opposed to like an advanced work assistant. I think it's really good for personal assistant, managing your calendar, managing your Gmail. This is a really cool product that I think is worth trying out and very different from Claude Code. Claude Code doesn't have anything like this, but it's just something you should be aware of. And then there's something called the Base44 Backend product. So what this does is it allows you to use Claude Code, and then you can connect to Base44 and basically ship faster by deploying full stack apps with a managed backend designed for agents. So this gets a little bit more advanced. If you're a beginner, don't worry about this. You can just worry about the core Base44 product. But what's cool about this is you could actually use Claude Code to write your code as kind of the code writing agent, and then connect to Base44 and use that as your managed backend and use that for backend functions, for authentication, for permissions, for security, for file storage. It's actually really, really cool. And as I'm talking about it, I want to experiment even more with this, but you can use these tools together actually. So it's not necessarily choosing one or the other. You could use your own, coding agent of choice, whether that's Codex, Claude Code, and then use the managed backend system here that Base44 has so that you don't have to worry about the database or user authentication. And that kind of replaces Supabase. So if you think about what Supabase does, or Neon, that is like the backend database user authentication. You can do this with the Base44 backend product here, and then still use Codex or Claude Code. But this would also replace like Vercel for deployment. So it handles all of that. Actually, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think I'm going to do a video on this in more detail later on. So subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about this later on. But that's kind of the core products here. There's integrations in Base44. Again, this is what makes it a lot easier than using a tool like Claude Code. Claude Code, on the other hand, is just a coding agent. It's going to write code on your own machine locally, as opposed to Base44, where everything's in the cloud. But it's the most powerful one. I guess this or Codex, I would say, are the two most powerful coding agents. You're going to pay for it because you're going to potentially need to use their most expensive subscription, depending on how much you're using it. But this is for developers. This is when you want to take the next step and have full control over your code, have all your code on your local machine and in GitHub. This is when you want to build more advanced apps. And I have tutorials on the channel about how to do this. But if you just want to build an MVP, something more simple, I would use where it's going to have everything integrated all in one. It's going to make it really easy. If you want to build a website, it's great for that as well. The backend platform could be actually really great if you want to do a hybrid and have some of kind of that infrastructure in the backend, but still be able to build everything out in Claude Code or Codex, for example. But that's really the difference. Claude Code is a development platform. And I would say Base44 is more of an AI app building platform that with everything built in and additional features like the backend product that I talked about and super agents, which is totally different and just an AI agent personal assistant. Check out our full videos on Base44 and Claude Code to go even deeper into these topics. Click the link in our description to subscribe to our 2-minute brief for AI builders. If you're an AI builder, you need to subscribe to this newsletter. We cover all of the latest features and models that are released in the AI world, specifically for people who are building with AI. So this isn't just general AI news. This is for AI builders. Click the link in the description to subscribe for free and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more free content like this. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.